what we have here, folks, the new E-Flite Habu. Not really into Habus. I have had a 50. I've got the Blue Angel. I think that's a 70. It was like one of the 4S versions that somebody just painted into a Blue Angel scheme and banged it up real bad and then sold it at a fly-in for 20 bucks. And I, got everything it was missing and put it back together, and I've been flying it since. And I haven't been flying it a whole lot, to be honest with you. So many birds I've gone through that it's kind of hard now. Whatever. Anyway, Habu XS, 80 millimeter, 80 millimeter, blah, blah, blah. So this bird encompasses a lot of things, and it's not just me. I'm sure everybody else who's into this stuff the way we are who has done reviews is voicing it, and now manufacturers are starting to take note, recognize. I made a whole big spill when I did the Habu that had retracts in it. It came from Park Zone with factory retracts. And I made a big stink about it because that was the biggest flaw of all the Habu line, was that none of them had retracts. It was like such a stupid idea. And I guess they wanted to target the Habu for the beginner side and then target the Viper for the higher end side. And I don't know, then they made a Viper with non-retracts. You can't figure it out, so don't even try. But this has lights. This has flaps. This has retracts. This has everything. I really always say I can't afford to keep them all. I got the Foresight on the wall over there. I've been trying to see if anybody wants to have the field. We're going to have our fly-in, so that will probably be the time when it will sell. And most likely this will too. However, it might be blown away by it and just can't let go. I don't know, but it's so expensive. This is so expensive of a bird that I don't know. I got my 22, my F-22. I've been flying that pretty regular. I can't see this beating that out because of the cool factor of that, but I'm going to give it an open try. This is it. It's unboxing right now, so then we'll figure it out. I don't want to waste too much of your time on rants and stuff. I just wanted to display the box and show you what that looks like. Now let me get into taking it out. I'm going to probably keep quiet through most of the directions and all that stuff, just kind of show you what's going on. You don't need a step-by-step, blow-by-blow of me putting every screw in. And if you do, just request it. I'll do you a video and just kind of cover, that bird you're interested in or something. But for the most part, I know there's people who are doing it super long where they're putting every single thing in one by one. If you want that, cool, I'll do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Request it, I'll do it for you. But for the most part, it seems like people are more receptive and they'll watch a video that's a little bit medium range long to kind of cover a bird that they're interested in. And then what I'm gonna try to do is get to the field on the next good day and fly it. But we've been having bad weather. So let me get into it. Okay, party people in the house. We got the Habu sprawled out on the desk. We got a little part sack, Ziplocky. It's got a carbon fiber rod. I would imagine could only be for this. Yep, this is gonna go in here. Goes in pretty far. I got a connection rod and I got some screws. They all look to be the same size screw. What a genius move there. All right, I'm going to be quiet now and put it together. I didn't install this little linkage for the rudder because I want to power it up first. But barring that extra 2 to 3 minutes, because you might have to spin it a few times to adjust it, I'm done. That was a very quick assembly, quite painless. I would add my thoughts on this would be this bird is quite great with all the stuff that it's coming with, especially because it's got these cool lights in the front as well as these on the side. So when landing gear come down, these lights come on. All kinds of cool things about this bird that blow away past offerings, right? What I will say is I think we're going back and forth fighting between the companies, and I just did the Blackbird, and it was an aggravation that it had screws in the wing. When the F-22 70mm and probably the 80, I don't have the 80, I only have the 70, so I can only comment on that. There's a push button. Now this has that cool little reciprocal that you could go into, but you're still putting in 4 screws. Just think if there was some type of a push button mechanism where you could just push 4 buttons, take your wing off and put in your car. Now that would be innovation. That would be the next step in the direction we're wanting to go. We want to make things simple. We want to make things easy. We don't care about realistic anymore. You know, this is a hobby. We're having fun. These things look real enough, blah, blah, blah. The lights and all that stuff, that's great. The wheels, that's super duper great. Flaps is awesome to the tent power. Everything about this bird is great. The only knock I would say, and it's not a true knock because they don't do it, but if they would kind of maybe copy what Motion's doing, that would be a good thing. So from this point, I'm going to go into the radio setup. Let's look underneath the hatch. This is a very heavy cover. Like this by itself, man, there's quite a bit of ounces in here. This is a thicker plastic than we're used to. Yeah, it feels heavy. This is a solid piece of stuff. I think like this bird could go on a diet. It definitely has weight. Ours has got a 637 TA plus. Got your good little space in here. Got some Velcro already installed in the middle of the pad. 2 straps so you can have full capability. Lots of room for you to do all kinds of weird maneuvers. Let's just see what it looks like. Let's throw a 4000 in here. Yeah, you could go way back and bump into the wires on 1 strap, or you can go way forward and get maybe 2 straps. If you go an inch back, you get 2 straps. But if you go all the way to the forward bulkhead, you're gonna one strap it, but still have Velcro. That's all I need to say about that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing set up in the radio and kind of go from there. Get this strap loosened so I may be able to slide a battery in here. Of course, I know there's critical folks out there. Don't quote me on what battery I'm using because I'm just putting this in here for the purposes of setting this bird up. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna fly one of those new air batteries that I bought specifically for this airplane for the super lightweight, because I know people have different theories. But if you're interested in mine, I want to keep every bird as light as it is humanly possible to be. So putting the big batteries in, for me, is not in the cards. I'm going to bypass that and use the lightest battery possible, which would allow me to go probably further forward to the nose because I'm going light. Let me get the radio set up and I'll get started. All right, got the bird and the radio in view. The only thing I did was create a blank model. There's no real need for you to see that. If you need to see how to create a blank model, just ask me. I'll do a video on just that. But for this point, I'm not going to show that because it's like the most basic step that you probably don't need. So I don't want to waste your time. All right, this does have the lead for smart battery. So this is going to be an awesome bird to fly because you'll be able to get each voltage for each cell on it. I kind of like that. It's got an AR630. A 637 TA, but it's got a 130 amp Avion in it, so reverse thrust is automatic. I'm going to go ahead and plug up. I'm going to get my bind button pushed. I'm going to hit bind on the radio, hold it down. Bind complete. DSMX 22 milliseconds. Still holding it. The bird initiated. I released the button. The bird is locked in. It double twitched, which means safe mode is active. So I don't have to go through the steps to activate it. Had I have just pressed the button one time on the receiver and released it, it would have started blinking and it would have bound, but it would have been bound without safe mode active. Now I don't have to do that step because it's already completed. Now, this very cool situation pops up. The receiver contains a preloaded transmitter file. All right, do you want to, yes, load. You could hit skip if you just want to do it all yourself. This will rewrite all the settings. I created a blank model just for this new bird, which I'm fairly confident will be 100% of the time when somebody's getting a new bird, they won't do it on an old model that they already have and mess everything up. Duh. I'm going to hit confirm. All right, the bird made a noise. It's twitching. Bind. All right, it's showing a picture of a Habu on here now. And for the most part, in that 5-second operation, I got ailerons and they're correct. I got elevator is correct, and I got rudder and it's correct. That's it. If you were at the field and you were at the field and you were gonna fly. You want this new bird, you just bought it, you went from the hobby shop. You could easily put in the 5 screws in the wing, the other 4 screws in the tail, 6 screws in the tail, and you could fly this thing brand new at the field right now. That is the beauty of it. Now I'm noticing some sounds coming from it. It sounds like I might have some twitching going on from my my flap system, which can happen. I don't think they're hitting in any way. Move this forward a little bit, and I'm gonna hit the normal switch that I would use for flaps. And they're right. Look at that. I love with they're not hitting anything. So yeah, landing flaps go down pretty good. That's nice. I'm gonna take this time. Let's go ahead and check safe mode. So I'm gonna hold the bird up. I'm gonna raise that aileron, and then I'm gonna go down, and it stopped. Release it, and it leveled. I almost feel like going in and changing the throws, which I normally always do, because I don't like the small amount of aileron you get, and especially the small amount of elevator and dive you get, up and down dive. So I didn't do it the last time. This bird may be a keeper because I'm really liking it. So let's go ahead and I would fly it on the stock formation. Forward programming, connecting, show advanced menus is inhibited. I want to show it. Safe select. Safe select is on. All right. Yep. So nothing else there we can do. We could hit safe select channel. That is inhibited. We don't want to do that, right? We want it to be right here on this switch. So I flick the switch. It's there now. Aux 7. All right. So I hit back. AS3X settings. I'm really looking for the other safe settings, but hang on. Safe select. All right, let me see. Channel. Gyros, other settings. I don't want to do a factory restart and start over, but it's not giving me a chance to get into safe select like I want to adjust the angle limits. But I'll probably do that. I'll probably do the main flight and stuff, and then come back and change this later. I'm sure it'll fly fine with that small amount of aileron. That's crazy though that I can't just stop locks release. That's good. Priority, flight mode 1. All right, flight mode 2. You got all your stuff. Yeah, you got your priorities. I don't usually change any of that. This stuff usually works good out the box. All right, your gains. And they're the same. All right. Yep, so forget about all of that. I'll do that after the maiden and such, and kind of go over it. But I'm looking at this this small amount of aileron throw. Now watch this. Oh, really? Coming off safe mode, you're not getting much more. Yeah. Channel 7 needs to be reversed for me. Let me verify that though. I don't know why would it be backwards. It's usually correct in the formation. So all the way down to the ground for me is safe mode, and that's what I look like I'm getting. Yeah. And then when I go to up, yep, that's off. So I was mistaken. I thought it was in the wrong direction, but it's not. So I'm gonna go ahead and all right, the throttle cut is already activated. So I'm gonna hit this. It's in the wrong direction for me though, right? I want this to be safe or throttle cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my throttle cut. I'm going to change this to this and that to that, and I'm gonna back out. The switch is correct, so now this is off. No throttle. Click it on. All right, that's the way I like it. You do it the way that works for you. All right, I'm blowing everything off the counter over there, but I wanted to get the throttle above 25% so I could check AS3X. And if you can see my control surface, I'm gonna go up on this wing, and this surface is gonna go up. You saw it? If you can't see it, there's a way you could turn it up in the settings, but I have to do another thing. I have to do a factory restore too, because I like to do it on a knob. But if you can't see it well when you're trying to figure this out, lay your hand across it and then raise the wing up, and you can feel it moving up. You can, if you can't see it well, you can feel it. Trust me, much easier to feel it than it is to see it. So try that out and let me know in the comments how y'all like that situation of trying to figure out how if the AS3X is working correctly, or for any driver for that matter. Like take your tail section and, you know, kind of wield it the way I'm doing, and then hold your hand on and lift your tail, and maybe touch the surface A lot of people ask about this. So if you already know and this is stupid to you, then, you know, pay no attention. But if this makes sense to you, then this is for you. I'm going to put my hand across from here to here. So when this thing moves up, I can feel it breaking the plane of the straight thing and going up. So then I know my surfaces are correct. I'm going to go ahead and take your time now and turn this to, this is AS3X mode, right? And that's where I was anyway. And I'm going to, the servo for the all surfaces is 0. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of hold this on here, and then I'm going to hold this on here. And it looks like it needs to be loosened a little bit. So I'm going to put a spin on this. I like to usually unloosen them evenly, but check out these wheels. All right, it was already in the up position. That's the way I want it. They came down a little uneven. Oh my goodness, these are like hard wheels. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they fall short after so many things being... Oh, look at the articulation though. I think I might have to, because Habus are usually great landers and this thing articulates like this, I think I might not need it. Oh, look at that front. It's like butter. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I hope I don't tear this thing up, folks, because this is some nice stuff that I'm dealing with here. So it's out of my league mostly. All right. That's the safe mode. I messed up. Yeah, put it in safe. All right. I thought I was hitting the retract switch. Now the retracts are as far forward to the pocket as they can be. Like this one's even touching. This one can spin a little bit. That one's touching. So I suspect when you land a couple of times, you're going to bend the back some. So shouldn't be a big deal. Mostly because I land bad. A terrible lander, let's say. Let's get this bag flipped over. And safe mode is doing its thing lovely. Let's point out while we're on the bench about these lights. So these are flashing. There's a flashing one on the wing. Solid up here, flashing on top. And when you're around aircraft on a flight line, generally you'll see that, you know, see a lot of flashing and a lot of solid lights. Let's put this down again. Then this turns solid. Put the gear down, like landing gear lights. How cool is that? I'm gonna see if I can keep it in frame for you. Starts flashing after that. That's cool. And it went out altogether. Look at that. So this one's flashing. The wingtip is flashing in green and flashing in red. I hope that's on camera because I'm nowhere near it. The tail is solid. You want that solid tail light. And nothing underneath. Nothing underneath. So you have a full set of LEDs. Now these are not, I can tell you right now, these are like the very inexpensive LEDs, but I appreciate what they have. Like, shoosh, this is nice. Oh, look, it's blinking on that side. I don't know what that's about. But it's not blinking on this side. Let's deploy the gear. All right, the single light comes on. No blink. Because there's two LEDs in there. Let's see, put them up. All right, this one's blinking now. I don't know what happened there, folks, but it wasn't blinking. So I was kind of confused at that's what I wasted a couple of minutes of video on. Didn't know what was going on. That is all I really need to say about this. Let's give you one sexy look on the bench with the cover on. Whoo, nice plastic all around here because you're always fingernailing it up when you're trying to get batteries in. All of this edge is hard. If you gouge on the inside, who cares? Because it's inside. You won't be getting too close to this. And the paint job is like a little bit more hardened, a little bit more smooth. You can still see gatoring from, you know, foam throughout. Don't get me wrong. This is not like a composite bird that's beautiful in every way. No, you can still see it's foam, but it is pretty good. And overall, that is sexy. Look at that thing. All blinky and stuff. All right, that is everything I need to say about this Habu until I go and fly. They did consistently do the whole thing with no timer. I don't even think there's any files about the timer in the book here, so I'm gonna probably just figure out some random time just to put there because I'm usually worried about time. So just so I can have a reference of time, and just when I go to full throttle, it'll tell me my time, so I can kind of know where I'm at. But that's it. I will see you guys at the field. The new Habu assembly video, size reference, coolness factor. All right, I thought I was finished. I forgot about reverse thrust, so go ahead and get into that. So I'm on my model. I'm gonna plug it up. Once you hear the initiation of the battery and such, you are on your way. All right, battery not charged for flying. I got a smart battery in there, and it's gonna be really smart about that. And I like to put this as my lowest voltage. I prefer lowest voltage. Most people like the percentage. I don't like that. I like to know the lowest voltage of the cell. If I go to this last column, it's gonna start calculating some stuff. All right, it's gonna say step 1, hold throttle down, and then throttle low, and then elevator up and left. So I'm gonna pull this down and left, and it should take and go to the next step. It should go to elevator right, but it's not doing it. I have had this happen. I don't know what the recipe is for it, but I could go through a whole lot of long, drawn out stuff, and I gotta reach on the bench over here. So, just something I wanted to cover. I was setting up my reverse thrust, and it was quite the aggravation because I've come across this a few times, and at the field, when somebody asks me to help them, I can usually come up. I'm that guy. Everybody's saying, "Hey, can you set up my reverse thrust? Can you do this? Can you do that?" So, I went to set up my Avion Prague, and let's see. All right, it's popping up, and I hold left, and nothing is gonna happen. I can hold this down till I'm blue in the face, and this will never come up. So it would eventually say go to the right side, right? But it's not. I can tell you I did this for very long. It's no sense for me to waste my time. So what I wanted to show you is if you go to your monitor, right, and you hold down your down and left and look at where your numbers are. You see how I'm at 108 there? That's because I was clicking like crazy just to make it work at the time when I was doing it, which ultimately was taking me off center, right? But I didn't care because it was just temporary. So now you see everything is zeroed out, right? Go back to my monitor. Now watch this. Now I calibrated my radio several times. As a matter of fact, let me show you that. If you want to learn how to calibrate your radio, here we go. Hit calibration. It's going to go to this. Your bird's going to turn off, and you're going to hit your sticks. So people have different ways. Some people just go crazy all around, hit all the bases of the stick. Others kind of go more precision down to the bottom, then all the way to the top. And sorry, I wasn't showing that part. All right. Some people go crazy all around like this. Others go a real controlled stop and the other direction. When you go to center, it's going to turn green. So you're just basically moving all your sticks. They don't turn green until you move them. So once you finish with all your big four, you center them all and they turn green, showing that they have a connection. Then you hit your sliders and your knob. You center everything. Now, my numbers are a little off there. I don't know about that exactly, but for this purpose, that's not what I'm trying to really show you. I'm gonna save, get back. It's gonna do some blinking. Throttle high, of course. It's connecting back to the bird. Holds 2 because I kind of aggravated everything by doing what I did. And it would have came on full or with some throttle. Some throttle cut. All right. So now my throttle, it doesn't move now because the bird is on. But anyway, I should have did that with the bird off. But you could see I'm still not getting 100. I'm at 99. But that is my reasoning, and it won't do it right now. Probably also turn safe off. If you have safe, turn safe off, because those things kind of alter your settings. I'm gonna disconnect the bird. I'm gonna let. All right, this went blank. So now I'm starting fresh. So hold 0 on plug-in. I don't know what that's about, but I'm gonna hold this down and left, and ultimately I might still not get in, but to get in at holds right. You see, so after my calibration, it actually is letting me in. See, there you go. Now I'm in. So I already did it because I was fiddling with it so long. But you see right here, you change this from the one that it's on brake type. You change that from whatever it's on, I guess normal to reverse, and then you'll go down, hitting the stick 1 time per. That's how you get it to toggle through them. So 1 little push down and let go. Timing. Reverse thrust channel. I want it on channel 8 because safe mode is channel 7. I don't know why they defaulted it on channel 7, but I always put it to channel 8 so it doesn't affect with safe mode. And go down 1 more time, push right. That's it. You exit the menu. Everything goes back. So now, to demonstrate, I'm going to go back to my main menu, and I'm going to got some throttle going. I'm going to hit the switch that I assigned. So now my reverse thrust is working. And that's pretty much all you got to do to set up reverse thrust. Now, it's a little bit more complicated what I end up doing. You can look back at one of my other videos if you want to learn how to make it with a 3-position switch, where this position would be forward, this position would be controllable thrust, and then if you want to go to full boogie, like with jets, I want to be able to just pop this up and let it go in full, so that's one less thing I got to be thinking about, because it's kind of weird to think about hitting the throttle when you're landing. You know what I'm saying? For most part, you're trying to get out of the mode of being into throttle or coming down off the throttle you have, which with jets, you tend to come down with a little throttle. So then if you just flip it into the first position, then you'll start getting some reverse thrust. But if you flip it all the way up, it'll go into like full thrust or whatever. You can dial it up and down with the amount of mix that you put in. So you could look at my video. I think the one that probably explains it the best would be my P47 video from the E-Flight line, because I definitely didn't want full reverse thrust on that. I just wanted it to be to a set amount where the aircraft, because the first time I tried it, I had way too much and the aircraft just went crazy and messed up the prop and everything. So you don't want to go full reverse on a prop plane, but on a jet, it's good to go full, and you can kind of dial that up until you get to the full rev of the engine. So if you can't figure that out, I'll get you the link to the video. Put it down in the comments if you want to know more about going full throttle at a third position setting. Let me know, and I'll link you to the video that actually shows it if you can't find it. But if you search for my reverse thrust videos, you'll find it. All right, folks, that's all I need to do for this. We'll see you at the field.